Ahead and get started. My name is Anthony Haddad. I'm actually the Assistant Director of Growth with ZBT. But recently I have been taking over the Assistance with Communications Directors and working with our social media as well as the social media of recruitment, expansion, all those fun things. I have a background in my past experiences are within marketing and social media and really getting the word out there. So I'm excited to be able to support the communications directors. So I'm gonna hop on in. If anybody has a question at any time, feel free to unmute yourselves, throw it in the chat. I'll be checking it out throughout the time. So yeah, just let me know. Here is the new communications manual. Jacob, you're the one with your camera on. Can I get a thumbs up if you can see it? Awesome, thank you, Jacob. So this is how it looks, all shiny and new. We go through the table of contents. We always want to make sure that we have our mission and our credo listed. And this is because, especially for communication directors, what we're trying to do is promote our mission and our credo with the things that we do. Programming, Brotherhood Development Director, recruitment, this is all part of their jobs. But for ours, it's how are we showing the campus community who we are as ZBT? Are we men of intellectual awareness, social responsibility, integrity, and brotherly love? Are we showing that all men can be a part of ZBT, no matter their background, religion, or creed, as long as they are following our mission? Are we showing that? Are we appreciating that? And so this is huge for us to always reread and make sure that we do know. The next one is just going over our government structure within our own chapters. Communications directors right here overseeing the alumni chairman, the parent chairman, formerly known, will be formally known as parent chairman. We're really wanting to go towards that family aspect, an IFC representative as well. We also have our constitution, our code, all the things that a officer would need to be successful, as well as more resources such as the apparel standards, really respecting the brand type of thing with our colors, our names, our logos, everything that you need. Parent communications, alumni communications, social media policy, which extends past our own personal social media. For some of you do know that sometimes our brothers post things that we might not have liked as much, and neither did the campus. And so we have to make sure that our social media policy is also excuse me, following our brothers when ZBT is present within those Snapchats, in those Instagram stories, Instagram posts, whatever that may be. But let's jump into it. I'm going to read each one of these with their section. The way that the sections work is that there's a basic, there's recommendations, and some of them have considerations. So I'm going to jump into the first one, which is pretty self-explanatory, but the communication director attends the transition program and sets goals and expectations of self on each term. So this could be, I want to do this many campaigns. A campaign meaning introducing the newest brothers, or introducing the executive board, or we've been seeing it recently in a lot of our chapters of like, who has the cutest dog? Those types of campaigns, those will get more engagement, more people following, and show your followers that you're still worth being followed. Because that is a huge thing, especially when we have people that are graduating. Why should they continue to follow? Why should they continue to care? Also, those transition requirements are really, really important when it comes to the switchover between one communication director to another. Because it could show us what social media campaigns did and didn't work, what marketing tangible items did we get, like did we get a bunch of water bottles for a recruitment and nobody liked them? That's something to note. A shirt design that we've already used. What I did when I was an undergrad and what my chapter has is a paper that has all of our sweatshirts and all of our shirts that we've already done. So when we're making a new product, our chapter can look back on that form and see exactly which ones we have done, which ones are close, and what we should be doing. It really helps us be newly identifiable while sticking into our own chapter's brand. Always keep a social media guide and keep all your social media passwords. I have had so many communication directors talk about how they cannot even get into their social media. I also recommend using like a password protected type of thing like Dashlane. Don't just write it down on a Google form document in which you could lose that. Some of our chapters having like 1,700 followers or even more, that could be detrimental to their following, their recruitment, and a lot of other things. The next one, the communication director attends executive board and chapter meetings. They're really about to be the ones that are reporting about their role when it comes to alumni, parents, the external communications, some of the internal communications. What are they doing to promote what is going on within the chapter? Some of the recommendations is preparing that report of the why of each communication. This is a big thing for me, is finding the why. Why are we posting this? Why are we doing this? If you cannot answer the simple question of why, then it's telling you that maybe it's something you shouldn't do, or maybe something you should rethink. If the why is, oh, I just want to show people the cool stuff we're doing. Awesome. What else? Like, what is that cool stuff? I want to show people that our brotherhood is strong and we do great brotherhood events. That's amazing. Show that. Not why as in like, oh, we haven't posted for a week. I did some cool things. It wasn't really chapter related. Why? Why post that? Why would I care? The next one is the communication director implements and manages the chapter communication calendar. This is extremely important. I think that this is overlooked, and also it's boring and it's annoying to do. Like, I don't want to say that it's like, oh, it's so much fun. It's not. Sitting down at the beginning of every, I do it by quarter, every single quarter, and pinning out when communications are going out, either newsletters or emails, social media posts, and all those things. It's annoying, but the thing is, it keeps me on schedule. It shows me when I need to have stuff ready by. And if you do that, your whole entire semester academic term, if you want to do it quarter as in the 4 quarters of the year, whatever that may look like, you will have the content that you need to be successful. Sometimes the calendar does change, and that's something to really consider, especially when the world is going through so many things. We might have to post about something else, or a holiday pops up that we might have not thought about. Luckily, when it does come to those holidays, we did write them out for everybody. So the holidays really to note are the major federal holidays. Even if your school doesn't take it off, it's good to put on your calendar because it is a high social media day. Also, Jewish holidays, our Founders Day and our Founders Day observed as well. We have our awareness weeks like National Hazing Prevention Week, which is actually this week. Other ones like National Volunteer Appreciation Week, Sexual Assault Awareness Month, Holocaust Remembrance Day, and anything else that you find is something that your chapter stands for or you want to post about as well. Chapter events, formal and informal recruitment events. This, especially on Instagram, because our niche market is 18 to 22-year-olds, our primary niche market, I should say. Instagram is the one that they're using most frequently. And so we need to make sure that we're posting these on social media because that's where they're going to be seen. We also need to make sure that our brothers and our friends of the chapter are sharing it on their own social media. The engagement grows so much by just having your chapter brothers share something. I remember when I was an undergrad, we started doing that, and we even saw it in our recruitment that our recruitment would work better and we would get more people because we started sharing posts and getting the word out there. Brotherhood events, making sure that you're following our social media policies, of course, and other campus-wide events. If you're a good partner to someone else, they're going to be a good partner to you. Share their events, they're going to share yours. Other campus events such as homecoming or big athletic events, philanthropy project, your community service. I want to see your brothers doing the work. I don't want to see your brothers posing after the work is done. I want to see them actually getting on the ground, pulling out those weeds, whatever that may be, because that shows me action shots. It shows me more things that I could be looking at. I'll be more engaged, and so will your viewers. And then also your philanthropy. What does that hype look like up to your philanthropy event? What are those live philanthropy event posts? And then what is and this is something that's missed by a lot of people, what was the result? I want somebody to post the result because I want it to be a full entire, let's say that it's a TV show. You start in the beginning where it's slow and it's starting to ramp up, and then the action's hitting for this short amount of time, then you have a resolve. I want to see that resolve. Another one is that we promote within and outside ZBT on social media. We are showing our new initiates, we're showing our alumni, our current brothers. What cool things are they doing? What do we want to promote about our chapter, saying like, my brother is cool because of blank. He owns his own business. He just won student body president. Whatever that may look like, what do we want to promote about our brothers? And sometimes this allows us to even ask our brothers what cool things they're doing when we don't even know about it. And I think that that's something that's really important for us to understand what our brothers are doing. Like I said, newsletter send dates and social media post dates. Those are huge to put on the calendar. Awesome. I'll move over to the next one. Again, if anybody has any questions, you can unmute yourself, throw it in the chat. The next one, the communication director manages all internal and external communication, included printed materials, website, and social media. So printed materials, the basics are understanding the time and resources and money that's put into making printed materials. This is something that should also go on the calendar of the recruitment director wants to get little tiny cards for recruitment. So you know when recruitment's starting, you know that it'll probably take about 2 weeks to get those printed. So you probably need the design done beforehand so that everything can be there on time. Shirts. I want to talk to the chapter that has never had their shirts arrive late. Because I'm under the impression now that shirts will always arrive late. Give yourself some time for those printed materials. Photo bank. Something that we're really trying to push out now is having a reserve of photos from events and years that you have been doing things for callbacks or whatever that may be, but something so that the communication director can just pull from and post about. Let's say that you had a Get on the Ball philanthropy and the communication director sends out a Google form that lets them upload as many pictures as they took from that event, goes into a Get on the Ball 2020 gallery, let's say. Now the communication director has stuff to use for after that week, during that week, for years down the line, whatever that may be. You have a bunch of photos to be utilizing. And this is also a point of sending some of that stuff to the international office. I love more than anything to post about our chapters and not post about the graphics that have a bunch of words on them. If you've been in any of my social media webinars, you'll know that I'd rather have a picture than writing ZBT from home stuff every single week. So I would really love to see your chapters being promoted and you all sharing that as well, showing that your international office kind of is giving that more support so that even your campus community can be like, oh, that's super cool. Their international office has responded to them and sent out their stuff. Because to be completely honest, a lot of people think that's cool when the international office recognizes them. And that shows me that their international office is not reaching out to the individual enough. Luckily in ZBT, we have personal connections with a lot of our undergrads, but we can still show that clout a little bit. See, I'm hip, I'm cool, I'm like those kids. I hate myself for doing that, and I apologize to whoever's gonna view this. If you have any complaints, just call me. So a photo bank is huge. Website, basics. Just get a Squarespace, a Wix, whatever that is. Spend 2 hours building it. Make sure you have information on recruitment, philanthropy, your brotherhood, message from your executive board. It is very easy to make a website these days. The cost per year for a domain is $15 to $20. If you do already have a domain that's purchased and is no longer active and you don't know how to get it, reach out to us. We can find ways to help you out. But it's very, very easy to make a very simple website. And if you do need any advice or any, thanks, Zachary, I hate myself, you're right. But if you do need any support with that, you can just reach out to the international office and we can help as much as possible. For social media, have the platforms that we actually use. Sure, I've heard some people talking about TikTok and having TikTok. I don't know how much that is going to help fraternity men, but I know that when it comes to Facebook, a lot of the people that are on there are, some people our generation and our ages, but also there's a lot of alumni. That's great for alumni communication. When it comes to Instagram, we're getting people that are within our own niche, within our own ages, our peers, our friends, really building more of a loyalty within our social media. YouTube is used across everybody. If it's a 45-second video about a brother saying, this is why I joined ZBT, and the audio is great, whatever that may look like for your chapter, and posting that on YouTube, then sharing it on social media, that will allow for cross-platform marketing, as well as keeping a place where your videos can stay and people can access them whenever. I know in some areas around the country, Twitter is still a thing. And if Twitter is the way that your university communicates, then hey, jump on that train, make sure that you have posts ready, and make sure that you're executing those. Big thing, that's social media policy. It is on the ZBT My Resource Center, just like where this is going to live. But I think that that's going to be a huge thing. I have put a lot of information about cross-platform marketing and letting you generate those quote-unquote leads from one market to another. Because on Facebook, what we're posting is, here's the cute picture of our executive board. That's amazing, because we know our alumni are going to eat that up and they're going to love it. But let's say that they go onto our Instagram page. That's a new follower, that's a new like, that's a new person that could be sharing things of our other stuff that we do, those Brotherhood events, those philanthropy events. Would you won an award from a sorority for winning their philanthropy? They're going to share that as well. So allowing them to jump from one platform to the other and keep both of them is huge. I would have similar headlining posts, like I was talking about with that executive board cutesy type thing. That would be that headline. They go on both. You will have more on your Instagram than you won't post on your Facebook, because Instagram gives that kind of mentality that we can be a little bit looser, a little bit more edgy than Facebook would be. And so make sure that the big ones are the same, but also make them a little different for the other posts. And then also utilizing the individual platforms, special properties, such as Instagram story. People have been sharing stories more and more as that has been widely accepted. And when it first started out, nobody was utilizing the Instagram story function because they're like, oh, they're just trying to jock Snapchat. I'm never going to use that. Lo and behold, everyone is using it. Using that will allow you to share your own content, share other people's content, and just keep people aware of what you all are doing. If you're at an event, just do a quick 10-second video, put that on your story, take a couple pictures of it, use it as you would your own personal Snapchat story. It does make a difference. Awesome. Considerations, when to post, who your audience is. Are you sharing and posting content that would support or appeal to your campus partners? Do you have a posting platform? I use Hootsuite so that when I get my calendar ready and I make all the graphics and all the photos that I need to post, I just throw them into this posting platform and I don't have to think about it again. The only times that I have to think about it is when something pops up or we need to move an event or anything like that, and it's ready to go. It makes it super nice. Yeah, what's up, Jacob?
Do you use that like on your computer, or do you use your phone much for any of that?
Yeah, so there's two ways to use Hootsuite. They have it on the computer. I use it on the computer because I do my graphics and my marketing materials there, and then I just transfer it over. You could also do it on your phone. I recommend doing both because on Hootsuite especially, and some of them are trying and starting to make it work, but with Hootsuite, when you want to put something on your story and plan that, what it'll do is send a push notification to your phone, to that app, pop up that picture so you can save it very quickly and then post it instead of posting it itself. So I recommend both. There's other ones like Post Planner, CoSchedule, Buffer. Buffer is really the large competitor to Hootsuite. But yeah, definitely recommend doing both. The next one, the communications director plans and executes all family and alumni communications and updates. So you're already working with the alumni or family chair. Sometimes, and I know for many chapters, they're combined. You're working with them to make sure that the newsletters are coming out. The information that's pertinent to those parents, to those family members, to those alumni, whoever that may be, is being out there. That means any philanthropy, any community service, anything the chapter needs for them to know, they should know. I recommend a letter from like a high-ranking member, such as like a president, and then the next time operations director, you can funnel them through. Events relating to the audience, alumni events that are coming up, a philanthropy, family and supporters weekend, any philanthropic and service work with a call to action for them to be able to donate, even if they're not in the surrounding area. Brotherhood events that showcase the brotherly bonds of your chapter, because parents and family members also want to see what their kids are doing and that their kids are happy. I've had one time where a parent texted me and said, if you get a picture of my son with the get on the ball, I will send you $150. Do you know what I did? I would yank that person outside of their room. I sent them over to the campus, got a picture for her. Like, those are the simple things that we can do that the parents and family and supporters and alumni want to see. If you need help with creating a newsletter or any of those types of communications, we have them on the Resource Center. You can reach out to us. We would love to support as much as we can. The next one, communications director communicates with the international office on procedures in the times of crisis. This is something that I just want everyone to understand. You are a communications director. You are not a PR director for a Fortune 500 company. You do not have to stand in front of any press, and it is recommended and required not to stand in front of press. You call us, you talk to us, we work through it all. Communication, statements, all of those things, go through us so that we can help you. We've had many times that chapters did not go through us, did it on their own, and it backlashed on them. Sometimes making a statement is not the thing to do because we say, like, we stand against this. Cool that you stand against that, respect that, but what are you going to do to make sure that your members maybe not do that again, or the members are fighting against this thing? What is your call to action? There's so many things. When a crisis does happen, the president is in charge until one of our staff members gets involved, and the communication director should reach out to me or one of the other staff members immediately to get into contact with me and a couple other staff members so that we can work on what we're going to do. Never talk to press, and when a crisis does happen, tell your chapter members not to talk to press either. They will reach out to whoever they can. It's press. They'll find any way possible. So just make sure that you're in communication with us. We're here to help you. This is our job. We do not want you to ever feel alone or stressed or anything like that. Just give us a call. The next one, I'll kind of do the next two together because their positions are very similar. Alumni chairman, parent, or family chairman, whatever that may be. You're a resource. You're supporting them. You're meeting with them regularly. You're there to set goals and expectations for them. There's many resources for both in our resource center, but really you want to make sure that the communication is out there and you're utilizing these events for the betterment of the chapter. In my experience, I was the fundraising chair, as I would call myself, because I would work in any type of fundraising, but it was parent chair was my actual title along with whatever else I was doing that year. We started raising from $2,500 to about 30 grand by the time, and I was done because we were communicated, because we were listening to what the parents wanted to see, what the families wanted to see, what the alumni wanted to see. and we were doing those things. So open communication is crucial to either fundraising dollars or just having them involved in the chapter in any way. If you do need that support in doing a fundraiser, that is something that your campus can do that allows, whatever that looks like, let us know. Super down for that. That's one of the big things that I miss about being an undergrad, is meeting the parents and family members of my brothers and being like, so how is he like that when you are all like this? Like, it is the best thing. Awesome. The next one is the communication director coordinates with other officers to create event-specific marketing materials. In executive board meetings, you hear about the recruitment director wanting to do a recruitment event. Your mind should automatically go, how do we get the word out there? How am I going to help support the recruitment director by making sure that I have materials ready, what materials they need, what is going on? That is going to be huge to the success of that person. Let's say programming talks about philanthropy. What are you going to do to be supporting them and getting that marketing materials together? Because you are that person that's going to be communicating. You're the person that's respecting and protecting the brand. You should be always thinking about, we can Instagram this, we can make a shirt with this, we could do this, that, or the other. So make sure that you're giving yourself enough time. And you're also vocal. Let's say they're like, I'm going to do this recruitment event next week and I want this, that, and the other. It is okay to be like, hey, that's not going to work in anyone's timeline. Maybe we should push it back a week. Or maybe you should reassess what you actually need for this project, because it's just not going to work out. Be able to stand your ground, be able to be flexible, be the best communications director you can. I think that's a huge thing. That listening, having a clear, defined outline, making sure that you're organized, and sticking to your timeline as well. The last one, the communication director will develop and prepare materials throughout the year for their successor. We talked a little bit about that in the beginning, about making sure that everything you have organized is organized. Even though it might take you an hour to set this up, it is worth it. It is crucial. And trust me, your successor is going to love you for it. I also do want to bring up that there's a lot of ways to do marketing and marketing strategy, because that is a main role of the communications director as well. And so in the ZBT My Resources, there is marketing strategy materials called Be in the Know of Marketing. And so I would really look at that and in some senses study that, ask me questions if you need to on that. It will allow you to set up the year in a way that you're focusing some of your events, some of your social media, your printed media, whatever that may look like for you. It'll focus that on your niche market, what you need to know and the why you're doing it. And it will be extremely helpful for you when it comes to recruitment, when it comes to you getting those fundraising dollars, when it comes to you getting those philanthropy monies, whatever that may be. Being organized, being planned, and executing is going to make sure that you are successful. I know that was a lot of information at once, but I do want to ask if anybody has any questions about the communication director manual. Thank you, Matt.
Would it be a bad idea to set up a like post on a certain media one day and then do like a weekly schedule, as in one day of the week post on this one, and then is that like, should I try to post on all of them at once or should I try to separate it?
Definitely. So I think one of the things that you have to look at, and I can support you with this, is looking at your university and the usage of social media. Usually you'll see that they're trending together. It's very rare to see that like Facebook is trending a lot higher at this time than Instagram is, because we all know what we do. We come home, we say that we're going to do homework, we don't. We throw our backpack down, we lay in bed, we grab our phone, we go through all our social media feeds. That's what we do. So they're going to go through each of those feeds. That is why when I was talking about making sure your headlining posts stay the same, but have a little bit of difference on other posts, That's because I'm going to go on my Facebook and I'm going to look at my pages. I'm going to go through my feed, see everything people are posting. And then I'm going to switch over to Instagram when I need to smile a bit more. And so I'll switch over to that, and I want to see something new. I want to see something refreshing. So I would recommend not doing it at separate times, because that will, one, stagger the times that people are most likely to be on their social media, and you're kind of splitting that. And number two, it's not allowing for the best cross-platform marketing unless you plan it very, very organized,
Right.
in the way that I don't even think I'm physically able to do. And I don't know many people that can, but there's some, like with Google, let's say, they have a team per social media platform. They can do that because they have teams for it. Us, I think it's just easier to post them at the same time, and making sure that we're hitting those times that people are out of class and really looking at it. If we know that on Thursdays, a bunch of freshmen have a lab that always ends at 6:30, posting at 7 will probably trend that higher with the freshmen. And so kind of looking at that aspect. If you do have things that you want to post just on Facebook and kind of leave Instagram, make sure that there's availability for them to connect to your Instagram as well. Like a little bit of like at the bottom of each post, it says, follow us at ZBT Monmouth, and then shows me all the elements, then that'll let me know that like, oh, I don't have them on Instagram. Or if even inside of the bio itself, there's that quick link that will let me shoot over to your Instagram, look through it, and be a follower there. Just make sure cross-platform marketing is always in the forefront of your mind as well.
Thank you.
Of course. Any other questions? Seeing none, if any of you need to contact me, please email me at Haddad, HADDAD @zbtnational.org. You can either find me there, go to the website, find my email there. I'm also going to drop it in the chat, so that you can all write that down as well. And I will also put down my cell phone number, which is also my work number. So makes it easy. Well, thank you all so much for being here. I'll stick around for a couple more minutes to answer any questions, and have an amazing Monday night.